Hey friends, welcome to a weekly update. This is going to cover the best and worst of what I have reviewed recently. I've reviewed thousands of products and shared honest reviews, so you have a better idea of what to buy and what not to buy over the past 7 years now. The scorecards keep me sane. They're all back on the website. I will have links to everything that I mention in the description. For those of you that have been along for the ride recently, saw my video about kind of letting go and trying new things. This is going to cover a lot of makeup, but I've thought a lot about it in the past couple of weeks. More so, it's about the addition of other different product categories because the goal is to find better products for all aspects of life. I'm talking about 3 products this week, so this video doesn't go on forever. I will start with Mob Beauty's Blurring Loose Setting Powder. That's this guy right here. I'm going to do some demos for all of these. Again, detail information, other products you might want to try, deep dives into ingredients will be back on the website. This is something I've really wanted to try. I'm a big fan of Mob Beauty. I have been for quite some time. Not one brand is paying me to say anything about them here. This is truly an honest opinion. If you like that kind of thing and you want to see more of it, hit the like button. So this is a first of its kind packaging. It's really different. It's paper packaging. They instruct you on how to open the loose powder and not have it fly everywhere. It's $28 for this. You get a pretty decent amount, like an average amount of product in here. And I didn't see the big plume or anything, but I wanted to try the pink color here because there's not a lot of pink setting powders that exist within the cleaner, greener space. Unregulated term, whatever. And they're supposed to be correcting. I had been hearing all of these positive things about what they can do. So primarily I use setting powders under the eye. I will use them on the face, maybe here and there if I'm super duper glowy. But primarily it's for under the eye. And I was like, oh, maybe this will be really interesting to use under the eye. I'm actually going to take off what I have under my eye right now, which is the neutralizer pencil from Jones Road, combined with a Kosas Revealer Concealer. I'm almost out of this typology cleansing oil. It's so good. Solid, middle of the road. It works. I'll put a link to that below. That was gifted. But again, under no obligation to review it. I'm just going to take off whatever I had on before. My sinuses randomly are so bad right now, so I have pretty dark circles. Just saying, I need the corrector. Normally I'd give it a second, but the oil is also kind of priming it. There's not much left behind. Usually I'll put an eye cream that'll stay on from the night before, things like that. So I don't really do a ton of prep under the eye. Let's say we want to use this and maybe like even out redness here, see what it does for the cheek. So what I would do is I would apply a concealer on the face. I'm going to use the Rare Beauty Brightener for this because it's thinner and I want to see what this can do. So I'm just going to put that lightly on the inner corner and clean it out. This is not how I normally, this is just sort of a speedier version of it. How I apply under the eye. I'll leave this as is. Wow, it's so dark. Good God, man. It's not good. All right, this has a very buttery texture. There is skincare infused in this. They're very into science and trying new things and innovating. You will see synthetics in these formulas. I am not anti-synthetic. I'm not pro-natural. I just like stuff that I can understand. So transparency trumps everything in my book. So I'm using a little bit of an angled brush from Sigma, which is rubbed off, but you don't have to use anything like this. This is just so I'm not touching it to my face at this point. And I'll apply it like so. Hold on one second. Getting a delivery. This is what happens. All right, so that is nice. I'm not seeing a lot of the correcting come through there. It's lightweight, absolutely follows through on that. But I really wanted to see if it can correct. So what I do is I'll take a little bit more powder and I'm putting it into the cap here. And then I'm going to use my puff. Just clearly been used already. And here's something that I noticed too. Like when it goes onto the puff, there's moisture in here. It doesn't just auto spread out. Like that's something that I don't always see with a hydrating powder. So what I tend to do is I'll just take my finger and blend it in a little bit. Is that a bad thing? If you don't blend it out, it might apply very oddly. So then I start to just press it in underneath the eye. I'll do it right here too. What I started seeing, and I go into this more back on the site, is it's nice. I do see the blurring. The blurring is absolutely there. I like it as a powder, but the pink correction starts to look a little strange as I add more, but the blurring is really nice, as you can tell. It's just, it starts to look pink under the eye and not in a great color correcting way. Now, I could just put this in specific areas, but the reality is I'm probably not going to be doing that. It adds too much tint. So at the end of this, I'm not a huge fan of the pink tint, but I ended up liking the powder and the packaging, and that's what I would go for next probably, because this is where I use it and it was a really nice blur. It's up there with some of the others that I've liked. The 14E is really nice. It's lighter weight, more of a silica, not as buttery. This reminds me of the Kosas Cloud Set a little bit. Definitely better packaging than that. So now I have to do the other eye because now I look crazy. Starting to look pink on this side too. It's cute, but it's not my favorite look. It's just not my favorite look. But that blurring is impressive. It's also not giving me as much brightening as I want right now. I need a lot more brightening. Anyway, on to the second product, OGEE Sculpted Face Stick. And I have this in shade Quartz. This sucker is $68. And they have wonderful ingredients at a high level. Great ingredients. They look at the sourcing. They look at all the rest of it. I've really liked the other products that I've tried from them. That this melts in. I can just apply it with a finger and it melts in. The shade Rose Quartz really had me. You've probably, if you follow me on Instagram, you've heard me talk about this or in a Get Ready With Me. It's sometimes those shades that are hard to come by. Is that worth $68? I'm not sure. I do have a promo code, by the way. It's Britt, BRITT_WITKIN 15. If you want 15% off, you can use that. That'll at least like knock it down a little bit. Also had a really wonderful wear test. You don't need a lot. A little bit goes a long way, so that could add to you wanting to spend on it. And you can use it everywhere, really. It's a multi-stick. You can use it everywhere. I also use it as an eyeshadow. Probably wouldn't be touching it so much. That's not sanitary. I understand that, but for the purposes of do as I say, not as I do, and just the video, we're gonna go there. Warms up the eye. And those are all the reasons why you can start justifying the price tag. The problem is that while they've covered all the ingredients sourcing, they have not really started to show me what they're going to do with this component in terms of environmental impact on packaging. So I'm trying to move away from plastic. They're starting refills with some of their lip products, which is really cool to see. So if they can keep extending that and evolving their packaging, the bar is already set. If I can get an ingredient list that I like, full transparency from the brand, cleaner beauty, that's great. But that without eco-friendly for me at this point in the game is just not enough. Otherwise, it's a beautiful product. It's a beautiful product. I cannot deny that. The other thing that I do want to mention there is there's coconut oil inside. Mango People is a great alternative. I love their blush stick, whatever cream in Jaipur. Say Do Blush, there's plastic there, but they're always working on using bioresin, sugarcane bioresin. One of my favorites, very different, but it's so good. And then also, you can just get a lipstick and use that. That's the truth. We don't need to have the separate products. Just throwing it out there, but if you want it, then you know, I get it. Last review is for the Merit Signature Matte Lipstick. I'm gonna take off everything that I was wearing. $26. There are 16 shades available. I'm gonna review the matte shade that I have in Vermilion. It is a bright, bold red, which I love. I love. A lot of people are talking about on social media that lipstick is dead, and I'm like, no, not here. No. It was alive and well. Also, it's like a great multitasker. This one maybe not so much because it's super bold, so let's try it on. This packaging is made with 30% recycled materials, and it is a little bit bulkier than I would normally like. As just a person having lipsticks rolling around in her bag, I'm not reaching for this as much as I thought I would because I like it. But anyway, I'll try it on. This is... hello. This ingredients list, they're fully transparent, and there are quite a bit of silicones and polymers. That certainly helps it glide on nicely. As you can see, it's also really forgiving. It is creamy, but not wet creamy. You know what I mean? It's not too creamy. It's not dry. It's very easy to work with, and you want that when you're dealing with a color like this. A lot of people would use a lip pencil, or sorry, a lip brush. I just can't be bothered right now. Also, in my reality, I'm not going to do that every day. On the days that I use this, pigment payoff, incredibly strong. It makes me happy. Like a red lipstick makes me happy. I don't know what that is. It's just a thing. I just really like it. I will use a lip pencil that's a little bit more neutral, and I will just line it. Cleans up the outer line. This is also nice. Can't talk and do this. Hold on. It also is a nice texture for somebody if you have lip lines and you don't want something bleeding into the lip line. This kind of a texture is going to help with that. One of the things that people always look out for in matte lipsticks is whether or not it wears well or if it's drying. The wear test was incredible as well. It did not go away quickly. However, because there's silicones and polymers and like little plastics and stuff, if it's on a lipstick, I tend to not really love that because I'm just going to eat it. I don't want it on my skin as much because it breaks my skin out. I'm not vilifying these ingredients. This is a personal preference. You could be fine with these ingredients. But these are the things that I take into account. And then the packaging, for some reason, I'm just not reaching for it. Now, you could say I'm not reaching for it because it's a really bright color and maybe not an everyday color, which would be totally fair. But I have the satin shades as well. I have Baby and I have Cabo, and I swatched these over on Instagram. Oh man, this is gonna leave a mark on this. All right. Actually, that's kind of great, isn't it? There's a little bit left over. It's almost like it dyed the lip. I didn't put a ton of oil cleanser on it, but that's like a nice little stain, right? That's a good way to get some multiple uses out of it. You could put it on your cheeks if you're daring enough to do that with that color. I'm not at this point, so I will apply the shade Cabo. This is more of a brick red. I just want you to see the different shades, how they look. Yeah, this is, yeah, definitely more of a bricky kind of red. What do you think? You like this one? Or do we like vermilion better? They feel very similar. This feels a little bit more hydrating or moisturizing because it's creamy satin. They all feel phenomenal on. You can't feel them. Oh, scent. This has a bit more of a lipstick scent. That's why I just thought of it. Vermilion. Interesting. So the matte has less scent than the creamy satiny one. This, I'm gonna smell and taste lipstick. Do you know what I mean? It's on a scale of 1 to 10, it's really not that strong, but it's noticeable. It's like a 6 or 7. And then this is going to be a hot mess, that little face towel. Baby, which is more of a neutral shade. So let's see how this looks. See, I don't even need to focus that much applying this. It's really forgiving application. Okay, I kind of really like this. I'm not sure why I haven't been wearing this. What do you guys think? Do you like Baby? Do you like vermilion? Or do you like Cabo? Or neither? Or all? So the moral of the story on that product, I really like it. It's performing very well is more important, like in terms of how we're going to review these objectively. I just am not a fan of the packaging at this point. I wish they could streamline it a little bit. Maybe talk to Mod Beauty about how they do it. I don't know. It's a totally different type of branding. I can appreciate what they're trying to do here, but as somebody who's looking to get away from plastic, that's just something that I would consider, whether I was repurchasing it or putting it on the Britt's picks list, which is out of the thousands I've tried. Those are my top 20, and I'm going to be launching the ultimate best of style shaker guide this June. Just send me all the energy, guys, because we're close. We're almost there. So we have the Mom powder, OGEE contour stick, Merit lipsticks. Out of these, what are your thoughts? Have you tried them? Have you liked them? Have you not liked them? This is just an opinion of one. You know I love having other opinions here. So please feel free to share those below. If you find these high-level kind of wrap-ups helpful and you want to see more information, you can always check the website. Link to that will be below. And if you want to support the channel, you can give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. So thank you for that. I will see you right back here with more reviews, beauty and beyond coming up very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.